The Enigma of Ephesus. In our previous story, we dove into the world of Anaximenes, where we discussed his belief that the world is flat and floats on air, driven by the opposing processes of rarefaction and condensation. Now, we're diving into the mind of a philosopher who saw the world as a river, constantly flowing, constantly changing. We're talking about Heraclitus of Ephesus, a thinker who challenged everything we think we know about reality. Heraclitus was a bit of a mystery. He was born into a wealthy family, but he rejected the comforts of aristocracy to pursue his own path. He was known for being critical and writing in a style so dense that he earned the nickname the Obscure. But beneath the surface, there's a powerful message about change, impermanence, and the nature of reality. The problem of permanence. In Heraclitus' time, many Greeks believed in a stable, unchanging reality. They sought to find the fundamental substance that underlay all things, the arche. But Heraclitus saw something different. He saw a world in constant flux. For those unfamiliar with the term, constant flux refers to continuous change or motion. It's the idea that everything is always in a state of becoming, never truly fixed or stable. Think of it this way. Constant flux is like water. Water is always moving, always changing. A still pond may appear calm, but even there, microscopic life is teeming, and the water is slowly evaporating. And just as moving water can become murky or turbulent, so too can reality shift and change in unexpected ways. Okay, back to our story. He saw that everything was changing, decaying, and transforming. This raised a profound question. If everything is constantly changing, how can we ever know anything for certain? How can we find any meaning or stability in a world of flux? Living in the bustling port city of Ephesus, Heraclitus was constantly confronted with change. Ships coming and going, people arriving and departing, cultures clashing and merging. This experience likely shaped his view of the world as a dynamic and ever-evolving process. Panta rhei, everything flows. Heraclitus' most famous idea is summed up in two words: Panta rhei. For those unfamiliar with the term, Panta rhei, it's a phrase from ancient Greece, and it's the heart of Heraclitus' philosophy. Translated, it means everything flows. But what does that really mean? Well, Heraclitus believed that nothing stands still, that everything is in a perpetual state of change. Think of it like this. Imagine a river. You might think it's the same river you saw yesterday. But the water is constantly moving, constantly being replaced. New water flows in, old water flows out. Okay, back to our story. He believed that nothing stays the same. You can't step into the same river twice, because both the river and you have changed. This wasn't just a poetic observation. It was a fundamental statement about the nature of reality. Heraclitus believed that change was not an illusion, but the very essence of existence. Fire, the symbol of transformation. To explain this constant change, Heraclitus used the symbol of fire. Fire consumes fuel and transforms it into something else. Heat, light, smoke. It's a constant process of becoming. He saw the universe as an ever-living fire, kindling in measures and being quenched in measures. A cosmic cycle of creation and destruction, constantly renewing itself. The harmony of opposites. But Heraclitus didn't just see chaos. He also saw an underlying order. He believed that opposites are actually connected and necessary for each other's existence. You can't have good without evil, pleasure without pain. He famously said, "The way up and the way down are one and the same." This was a revolutionary idea. Heraclitus saw the universe as a dynamic balance of opposing forces, a constant tension that creates harmony. Heraclitus's ideas challenge us to embrace change, to accept the impermanence of all things, and to find meaning in the midst of chaos. But how can we live in a world that is constantly changing? How can we find stability and purpose? The Logos, finding the order. Heraclitus believed that the key to understanding the universe lies in the Logos. For those unfamiliar with the term, this is a difficult word to translate, but it refers to the underlying reason or principle that governs all things. The Logos is the hidden order that connects everything, even in the midst of change. Okay, back to our story. By understanding the Logos, we can learn to live in harmony with the ever-changing universe. We can accept the flow of life, embrace the challenges, and find meaning in the midst of chaos. Heraclitus's legacy. Heraclitus's ideas have resonated through the centuries. He influenced thinkers from Plato to Nietzsche, and his emphasis on change and process has found echoes in modern science and philosophy. He reminds us that the only constant is change, and that embracing this truth is essential for living a meaningful life. Embracing the flow. So, the next time you feel overwhelmed by change, remember the words of Heraclitus. Everything flows. Embrace the flow, adapt to the changes, and find your own path in the ever-evolving river of life. Next time, on The Wise Forgotten, we'll journey to Athens and meet a student of Socrates who transformed philosophy forever. Only on The Wise Forgotten.